Say Gimpaw.
Welcome to Gimpaw's Gaming Company. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, and share. Help me grow. But in this episode, I will be teaching you how to do the cleanest gradient possible. This is the Ferrari Superfast, and we'll get into that in another episode because this car is truly elite. But real quick, in the comment section, let me know what the original color of this car is, what the base color is. Real quick in the comments section. I'll give you a moment to do it. Okay, now let's get into it. We're going to apply the gradient to this Pagani Huayra. But first, I'm going to get into showing you how to do this VANTA black. So what you do is you go to your paints and then you scroll all the way down to the chrome color. The aluminum, polished aluminum. And you take the saturation and the brightness all the way down to 0. Then you back out of that and you go to apply decals. Then you take the regular decal, any decal, and you make it black. Now watch this as I extend it to fill up the whole side of the car. Okay, there. It's about full now. Just a little bit more. Okay. Now you change the material to an extreme matte as it can go. And see, there you go. That's your VANTA black. And then you repeat the process on every direction of the car, the top, the front, the sides, the rear. Just do it everywhere to cover the entire car. And now, there you go. VANTA black. Easy. Now for the gradient. So you go naturally to the gradient shapes. And this is the very basic one. And the Ferrari has a wider gradient with 3 colors. So I'm going to make this a little bit tighter. So I'm going to pick blue, but I'm going to pick these 5 colors here. Yeah, I'll pick these 5 blue colors here to start with. So I'll start here. And now we tilt it because we want a rakish tilt to it. Now, my tip mathematically is to try to keep your values within 15. So it's easy to do the math later. When you're flipping things and turning them around, just try to keep the common denominator 15 so you don't end up with any mistakes. So for this gradient, I'm going to make it 30 for the width. Just a little bit tighter than the Ferrari. The Ferrari was at 100 for the width. I just didn't change anything as far as the width is concerned. I just increased the length to fit. The next thing you do is you apply a solid color of the same, you apply the solid of the same color. And you get it to be the same size. You want to work within the same size and values. Okay, so I've got this. So you remember what I was telling you about the math? Now, rather than doing the math here, which, I mean, you could do, you just subtract 60. However, just to keep it easy, as simple as possible, we're just going to actually make this 60 so we don't have to do any math. So you painstakingly find your value. There it is. Now you increase your size. Since we tilted it, it is the other direction now we have to go. And we make that as wide and fill everything. And then you take your 30 and then you bring it up right to the edge. So you just take away that black line and that's it. You don't want to overlap it. You just want to touch it. There you go. See, just touch it. Now see how smooth that gradient is? And now you take the next color and you go to the gradient. And remember, 60 was our tilt, so you go back to 60. And you extend this thing so it fills up the whole side. And then you bring it back down to 30. And the same thing you did with the last layer, you bring it right to that line. So now the gradient itself goes over that 30 width solid piece you have. So on that solid piece, you have 15 gradient and 15 not gradient, so it provides a smooth transition. And then you repeat the process in that color. You go and you get the same color that you just had, and you make it 30, and you just repeat the process for every color. I mean, you don't have to have the gradients in a transition either. You could alternate colors. You could really mix it up and play with it and come up with some great ideas and schemes for this. So you just bring it right up to that line. Now you can see the gradient forming now, right? See how smooth that is? So now you go in and you get one color darker in your gradient. So one color darker, and then you go for the 60-degree tilt again. Then you extend it to fit the whole car. Then you go back to your number, your common denominator for this, and look at that. You just bring it right back up to the line of that solid color. Now do you see the gradient coming in? All right, let's do it again. You should really be able to see it after this layer. You should see the gradient really forming, because now we're 3 colors away from the original. And when you bring it up to that line, the lines themselves are effectively gone because you have the gradient shining through the bold layer. So just tack it up to the edge. Now we go one darker for the gradient shape. "60-degree tilt." Let's dial that in, 60 degrees. Okay, here we go. Now the size. And then we take this size down to 30. There we go. And just bring it right up to that 9. Now, you could see the gradient forming, right? Look at that. Yeah, and we keep going. The next color, we go one darker. Okay, I'll extend it before the tilt because that's allowed with the bold shape especially. So we just attach that to the edge right there. See that? Right to the line. Look at that. So you can make these gradients as wide or as tight as you want. You could make them as many colors as you want also. And you can tune and tweak the colors so you can have an even smoother gradient. Because imagine between the first and the second value, I just tweaked it a little bit, maybe the saturation or the brightness just a little bit. And then the next layer, do it the same way. And as you go, keep doing the same thing. That's many variations possible. So now we'll put the layer on first to show you. how it looks as the gradient comes. Look at that. Look at that. And see, it doesn't even ruin the rest of it. So you could even make a smokier gradient. All right. So now we're going to go and apply our bold shape. And again, I'll stretch it out before I turn it. And now just remember, slide it into place after you find your tilt. And there we go, look at that. So we'll leave this at 100 and extend it. And now to flip the gradient around, remember the math? So we had it at 60 on one side. So we subtract 180, because 180 degrees is the exact opposite. So you flip it 180 degrees. Well, you subtract 180 from 360. And then we move it up to the line again. And then we extend it as we do. Just get it to that line really good. Yep. And then we extend it as we do. And see, now there's no more hard edge on our gradient transition. See that? And then you go to the other side. And what I like to do is I delete all the layers first, and then I apply all layers, because I don't want 2 layers of the black. And there you go. Both sides of the car completed. Now, let's see what it looks like in the actual light. Because the lighting outside of your garage is different from the lighting inside. So always take it out and see what it looks like in the world before you change too many things thinking it doesn't look good. So here we are outside, and look at that. It does look different. It looks more vivid outside in the sunlight. But here we are. That's your simple gradient. And I got to admit, it does look really, really good on the VANTA Black. So let's go in and finish it, and then see what it looks like when it's all done. So here we go. I removed the VANTA Black layer because I like the way the transition looked in the gloss finish. But here it is, the total car. I just matched everything I did on the side with the top. We want some new rims, matched the color on the rims, kept my red calipers. And that's how we do it, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel for us, make this a community. And leave a comment. Any suggestions? These videos are for you. Thanks for pulling up and tapping in. Peace.